Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Tonight, the Tigers roadshow moved from Northern California down the coast to Southern California. We're at Angel Stadium tonight in Anaheim. It is game one in this four-game series featuring the Tigers and the Angels. And look at the Central Division standings as we approach the month of June. KC, Minnesota tied for first, and your Tigers just one game back in the standings. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. The Tigers and the Angels here in the first of four. And really, Rod, I don't know what to make of these divisional standings. Everything is jumbled up right now.
Absolutely. We didn't expect the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs to be holding up the rest of the division, but that's what they're doing right now. It's good for baseball that the Minnesota Twins are playing as well as they've played. This division is going to beat up on each other all year long.
All right, now the Tigers got a win yesterday against the Athletics. Yoenis Cespedes, Brad Austin put him fourth in the lineup yesterday. He pays some dividends. He's been awfully good of late.
You know, it's amazing to me that Cespedes has been getting as busy as he has been able to do this year, being pretty much a dead pull hitter. Every now and then he will leave the strike zone and swinging some balls that are down and away from him. But most of the damage that we're about to show you is all to the pull field. Cespedes has simply gotten it done in a Tigers uniform. Extra base hits 23. No one has more. Well, he's second in every other category. You know, Miggy kind of leads the charge and everything else. But he's been real nice in a Tigers uniform. He's a free agent after this year, and he's playing like he wants to get paid.
All right, now these Angels, they will take on tonight and won a ton of ball games last year. This season, though, they're struggling to stay at about 500. They have really struggled this year.
They really have struggled. They're just not hitting the baseball. They're pitching okay, but they're not hitting at all. They really miss Howie Kendrick. But one thing they do have going for them, they've manhandled the Tigers in this ballpark. Tigers need to man up, and they need to play better here.
Yeah, because they've lost 9 of the last 10 in this ballpark, so hopefully that trend will change here tonight. Tigers and the Angels, game one in the series coming up. Right now, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios in Mickey York. here on the West Coast. The first of 4 against the Los Angeles Angels. C.J. Wilson taking the hill for the Los Angeles Angels, and the Tigers getting set now to send their starting lineup up against him. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for the Tigers, it'll be Rajai Davis leading off. He is the DH tonight, followed by Ian Kinsler and Miguel Cabrera. Yoenis Cespedes back in the cleanup slot in left field. J.D. in right field. Castellanos at third base. McCann, Iglesias, and Gose rounded out. Iglesias back in the lineup here tonight, and they are facing the left-handed offerings of C.J. Wilson.
C.J. Wilson a few years ago threw a lot harder. He used to be about 95 when he was with the Texas Rangers. Now he's right around 89 to 91 with some good movement. He's got a nice slider. He'll backdoor you with the curveball as well. He's been a good pitcher here at Angel Stadium, too. Let's take a look at the Angels starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, they have Joyce, Trout, Calhoun, Ibar, Giovatello up the middle in the infield, Freeze on the corner at third, Green at first, and Iannetta is a catcher. They have turned 27 double plays this year defensively, tied for fewest in the majors.
Mike Scioscia, the winningest manager in Angels history, his 16th season at the helm of the Halos, over 1,300 victories in his tenure here in Southern California, and we've got a nice night for baseball here tonight. The field conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 73 degrees at game time. It is clear. The skies really have no clouds at all, so we're in good shape as far as that is concerned. Fans are still filing in tonight for the Big A, and the Tigers set to do battle here against the Angels. Rajai Davis strolling into the batter's box. Lights are on here at the ballpark. Tigers and Halos in a 4-game weekend set. Davis, the DH tonight, comes in batting .267. This is his 4th start as the designated hitter. Brad Ausmus continues to rotate that position with Victor Martinez out of the lineup. C.J. Wilson brings it home, and the first pitch is hit right back at the left-hander, who throws him out. Sharply hit ball, one gone.
And Tiger's going to be aggressive here today. A nice pitch there by CJ. A little luck involved, too.
Yeah, I think it picked him. 1 pitch, 1 out. It'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Kinsler was able to pick up a double in the ballgame yesterday, and that snapped that long streak of 0 for 22. Average at .280 right now for the Tigers' second baseman. And Wilson throws a strike in the outer edge, 0-1. C.J. Wilson is 34 years of age, out of Newport Beach, California, just down the road here from the Big A. The 0-1 missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Wilson and also Kinsler should know each other very well. They played a few seasons together with the Texas Rangers.
Here's the 1-1, fouled straight back.
Yesterday, Kinsler had himself some type of day. He got the first day off in Oakland to recharge his batteries, in this double play that he started yesterday. You're not going to see a better one this year. Tiger's been getting busy up the middle defensively, whether it be Iglesias or yesterday it was Machado's turn.
Yeah, Machado sent down today with Buck Farmer starting this ball game tonight. They needed to make room for Buck, so Machado is headed back to AAA.
Kind of had a feeling they would do that. They didn't need 3 backup middle infielders up here. They already have Romine and Hernan Perez.
Here's Mr. Farmer getting set to make the start, his first in the big leagues this year. Kinsler looks at a ball high and away, and the count now goes 3-2.
Well, Tigers need to score early here today because the Angels have played very aggressive against the Tigers in this ballpark. The Tigers have lost the last 9 of 10 meetings here, and they've been beat up pretty bad here in Southern California.
That'll get back out of play.
Trips have not been fun here other than the weather.
No, they really haven't, and you're right. I mean, the weather's been spectacular and usually is here in Southern California, but boy, the Tigers just have not been able to get it done on the diamond here. Numbers on Brad Ausmus, his 2nd year as the Tigers skipper. Wilson again with the 3-2. Kinsler fouls it back out of play.
And Brad had the chance to get back home last night. Went to San Diego. It's always nice when you can get home, close to your home, and see your family.
And always nice to do so after taking 2 out of 3 from the Oakland Athletics the last 3 days. Wilson having trouble putting away Kinsler. Grounded foul down the third base line. Kinsler has not homered yet this year. He has knocked in 21. And he's got the big guy waiting on deck. That would be Miguel Cabrera. Eight pitch at bat right now for Kinsler. Here comes number 9. And another ground ball foul. He continues to give Wilson fits. Kinsler 1 for 9 in that series against the A's.
That one was a big one yesterday because it was in the inning where he doubled and then they walked Miguel intentionally, and that's where Cespedes hit the 3-run home run.
Yeah, it ignited that inning.
As a matter of fact, that was the first first double of the series for the Tigers.
Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup between these two former teammates, and Kinsler has pretty much had his way with C.J. Wilson. 381.
Well, no coincidence. Wilson has already had to throw him 11 pitches here in the first.
Again, the 3-2, and he finally draws the walk. A lengthy battle is won by Kinsler. Tigers have their first base runner. And that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera.
Really, for Wilson to be successful here against Tigers batters, and the Tigers have a lot of right-handers in their lineup, he's got to use his cutter and his slider inside. But if that doesn't work for him, he does have a pretty good two-seam fastball. He can fade away, backdoor curveball, and a really good changeup. He'll also change some eye levels with fastballs upstairs.
Miggy looks at ball 1. The other thing they say about Wilson is he's become a lot less deliberate this year. He's been picking up the pace. Worked with a sports psychologist in the offseason who told him, look, you need to dictate pace. And he's kind of taken that to heart. Now, obviously, it's different when you have a man on.
He's got the show hair going, too.
He does.
Well, he does have that commercial.
It's pretty good looking hair.
He is straight Southern California.
6'1", 210, Newport Beach.
Probably got a surfboard in the garage, too.
He and Osmus. 1-0 on Cabrera, batting .333. Miggy had the 13-game hitting streak ended yesterday. Pulls this one on the ground to shortstop. Ivar to his right. Fires to second one. That'll be a double play. 6-4-3 gets Wilson out of the inning. Here come the Angels as we go to the bottom of the first. Buck Farmer takes the hill in a scoreless ball game tonight, and Mr. Farmer presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Buck Farmer was pitching some outstanding baseball in AAA. In 9 starts, he had won 5 and only lost 1. The ERA sub-3, and he was piling up the strikeouts. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s. He'll touch 96, maybe 97. Nice changeup, good power changeup, and a breaking ball that is still developing.
And so Farmer gets his first start after being called up from AAA Toledo. He'll face Eric Ibar, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols in the Angels' first inning. Ibar, a .271 hitter. He's been elevated back into the leadoff slot, a position that he had a couple of years ago and had a lot of success in the Angels lineup. Swing and a miss by Ibar.
Ibar's been hot lately. Hits in 17 of his last 18 contests to get that batting average up to .271.
There was only one shortstop in the American League that's had more hits than Ibar, and we just saw him, Marcus Semien of the A's. We'll get back out of play
already. Yeah, Buck Farmer with that mid-90s fastball.
He's got to have some adrenaline going tonight, I would think.
I think he's going to be a good big league pitcher, Mario. This kid jumped 3 levels last year. A-ball, AA, AAA, big leagues.
It really was an amazing ascension last year for Farmer, starting the year in West Michigan and finally got to Detroit in August.
And he wasn't afraid when he got here.
Another fastball, this one missing in.
Here's some numbers on the velocity of the Farmer fastball last year. Average 93, which was second highest on the Tigers team. David Price just a tick above where Farmer was.
Ibar just got a piece to stay alive.
This is the pitch that's still developing for Farmer, and this is the pitch that you can't get away with that often in the big leagues. You might with Ibar, but the bigger, stronger hitters, this hanging breaking ball, they'll get to it. You got to get it down.
And again, the 1-2. It's off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ibar. Angels came in just 1 game under the 500 mark, 23-24. The Tigers 8 over at 28-20. Ibar shoots one to right field, a base hit. Leadoff single for the Halos. Here's the rest of their starting lineup, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Mike Scioscia's got them lined up like this in this ballgame this evening. You saw Ibar leading it off. Trout, Pujols to follow. Cole Calhoun batting cleanup, followed by David Freese and Matt Joyce. Iannetta, Green, and Giavatello, the former Royal, batting 9th. So leadoff man on for Mike Trout. And here are the numbers on Trout this year. .297, the MVP last year in the American League.
Very dangerous low ball hitter, whether it be fastballs or breaking balls. You have to stay around the belt buckle to Trout. When you go downstairs, that's where he does most of his damage. And he's got a lot of power. He can do a lot of really nice things on the baseball field.
You know, for as good as he is, Ron, and as good as he was last year, winning the MVP, the Tigers really handled him nicely last year.
Well, they threw him fastballs upstairs. Yeah, he had no success against Tigers pitching. And they're going to have to do the same thing.
160 last year.
Yeah, they say he's been laying off that pitch a little bit more this year, but teams are still trying to exploit that weakness.
Trout 25 RBIs. He's hit 11 over the board so far this season. 2-0.
Here's what you were talking about. And 4 for 25 and 12 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's the impressive thing, the 12 strikeouts. Only 4 hits all season last year versus Tigers pitching. Will they have the same success this year against Trout? Looked like Miggy had some trouble pulling that throw in from Farmer. There's a sleeve of sunlight down there at first base that may have caused Cabrera to lose that ball.
I don't think Alfredo Griffin saw it either. He's the first base coach.
There you go. That's a good shot of what Cabrera has to deal with. Kind of ducking. Trout looks at a strike right at the knees. 2-1. Farmer is 24 years of age, out of Conyers, Georgia.
Sorry about that. Ibar only 3 steals this year.
And he's been caught a couple of times too. Miggy's still battling that little sliver of sunshine. That is a strike on Trout. Trout didn't like the call. 2-2. Neither did Trout. Pujols waiting on deck. Angels batting here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game tonight. Game 1 of 4 this weekend. Here's the 2-2. Little bouncer off the end of the bat. Kinsler coming over to his left. Quick shovel toss for the out. Ibar will move to second.
Let's take a look at the Detroit Tigers starting defense tonight, presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. Cespedes, Ghost, and Martinez in the outfield. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera in the infield, and James McCann, the catcher. Tigers have done a lot of positive things this year, and catching that baseball consistently has been one of those. Only 21 miscues this year, 4th fewest in the majors.
Well, it's really been nice to see the Tigers play the defense they have, and getting that guy back tonight after missing 4 games is a positive as well.
He makes everybody better. Like Miguel Cabrera makes everybody in the batting order better. Iglesias just makes your defense better.
Pujols sends a ground ball foul.
And Tigers overshifting on Pujols, as a lot of teams have done this year. And Pujols, he tries to drive the ball the other way in these particular situations. He's got a huge hole on the right side of the infield where Kinsler's playing real close to second base.
Albert batting just .235 so far this season. He's hit 8 home runs. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
As a matter of fact, teams have walked Mike Trout intentionally quite a few times this year to get to Pujols.
Well, Pujols this year is hitting just .162 with runners in scoring position.
Oh, that's why.
That is very un-Albert-like. And then Farmer has him down to the count 0-2. Thought about it, let it go by.
There was about a 5-year stretch there when Pujols was wearing the St. Louis Cardinals uniform, where he simply was the best hitter on the planet. The best hitter, bar none. Look at his numbers up and down. But now that honor goes to Miguel Cabrera, who plays first base for the Tigers. He is the best hitter in our sport.
You could probably stretch that to a 10-year span when he drove in at least 100 runs for 10 consecutive years. As that one misses outside, and the count now 2-2 on Pujols. With St. Louis, here are the averages. He averaged 40 homers with St. Louis from 0-1 to 11. And while he has struggled this year with men in scoring position, career .324 in these spots. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball to third, foul. And Albert may have broken his back. Farmer gave up a leadoff single to Ibar. He's standing at second now with 1 out. This is an Angels team, Rod, that for, well, I don't know what the reason is. I mean, they won 98 games last year, but they just have not been able to hit this year.
It's a different team for me. This doesn't look like a Mike Scioscia team. I mean, every time we came here, he had about 3 or 4 really good athletes on the field, guys that could really run the bases, steal bases. They went first to third better than any team in this sport, but this is not the same kind of athletic team that Scioscia usually puts on the field.
Driven down the left field line. Ball hit well. Cespedes back. Turns. And it is gone. Line drive home run for Albert Pujols. And the Angels are out to an early 2-0 lead.
Well, we talked about the Buck Farmer fastball, which is in the mid-90s. We also talked about his power changeup, but it's the breaking ball that is still developing that he gets beat with here to Albert Pujols. Albert's still a pretty good 2-strike hitter, simply was waiting for the breaking ball, and it was sitting on a T form right down the middle. It's a good pitch to hit for Albert.
That one was almost impossible to miss. And so Albert hits his 9th of the year. The Angels out to the early 2-0 lead, and here is Cole Calhoun. So Pujols giving the home crowd something to buzz about early in this one. And now he continues to climb the all-time home run list. He has 529 with Jimmy Fox in his sights. Calhoun looks at a strike. 1-1 on the right fielder for the Angels, who these days is batting behind Pujols to give them at least some semblance of protection for Albert.
We told you that Buck Farmer was really dominant down in the minors this year.
There's a bouncing ball foul.
He was 5-1 with a sub-3 ERA. He had 51 strikeouts, and in the 9 starts, he'd only given up 1 home run in 51 innings. So he's already given up 1 here today.
Not too many Pujols type hitters down there in the bushes. No. A little bit different here. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 now on Calhoun. Cole batting .281. Got David Freese waiting on deck for the Angels. Still only 1 out in the inning. Shattered back again. Right back to the mound goes the baseball, and Calhoun is out. Really dangerous. The barrel of that bat just helicoptering down the first base line. 2 outs. Here is David Freese. Freese at only .220 this year. 8 home runs and is struggling too for his last 19. In fact, Freese busted up an 0 for 12 slump yesterday with a hit.
You mentioned the 8 homers. Yeah, he didn't hit his 8th home run last year until September.
Whoa. He'll sky this one to the right side. Shallow right field for J.D. Martinez. And that'll take care of the inning. However, the Angels score first. Albert Pujols, a 2-run shot. He got out in a hurry, and it's 2-0 LA. C.J. Wilson with a little bit of a lead to work with now. Buck Farmer back up from the minor leagues, surrendered the 2-run shot. We'll see if the Tigers now can support him with some offense here. Yoenis Cespedes leads it off against Wilson. First pitch from Wilson up high. Yoenis to be followed by J.D. Martinez and then Nick Castellanos. Big 3-run homer yesterday. Turned out to be the game winner against the Athletics. The 6th of the year for Cespedes.
And that homer came at the perfect time after an intentional walk to Miggy.
Now he's ahead 2-0. And Wilson throws a strike, 2-1.
Cespedes is a dead pull hitter. And most of his damage is done from center field over to the left field line. Occasionally he will hit something very hard in the right center field.
23 extra base hits this year, good for 4th in the American League. A lot of those doubles. Now Wilson with the 3-1. Pulled on the ground to third. Right there is Freeze. He got the glove down. Hard hit ball, 1 out. Here's J.D. Martinez. J.D. fighting it a bit again. He is 0 for his last 11. Did not have a hit in the series against the A's. .254 batting average for J.D.
Saw J.D.'s dad here before the game today. Maybe dad being in town and getting back on track. No one knows your swing like your dad.
Well, J.D. with 9 home runs. He went through that spell in which he was 0 for 25. Then he had an 11-game hitting streak. 0-2 the count.
Good pitch to hit there by thrown by C.J. Wilson. That cut fastball about 90 miles an hour. Didn't quite get in as far as C.J. likes to get it in. Good swing by J.D., but good pitch to hit.
Martinez 3 for 10 career against Wilson. Here's the 0-2. C.J. 34 years of age. Angels signed him to a 5-year deal back in 2011. Big free agent signing they had that offseason. They brought Pujols in as well. They've had some big names come to Southern California. Josh Hamilton is no longer with the team. He was a big signing. Here's the 2-2. It's outside, 3-2. And again, it's a team that won 98 ball games last year, yet it really didn't matter much because they were ousted in the first round. And they were swept in the ALDS by the Royals.
Kansas City would have swept anybody last year. They were simply on fire after they won that one game against the Oakland Athletics.
Royals weren't stopped until they got to the World Series. 3-2. And J.D. goes down swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Wilson. 2 gone. Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box store in your newspaper or the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. With 2 outs, here is Nick Castellanos. Nick batting .244, 3 hits in that Oakland series. He's knocked in 20 this year. He shoots this one in the air to straightaway center field. Mike Trout is under it. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the second. to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Jeep, come discover great deals during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. And by Spartan Stores. For locations, visit turntospartan.com. Back here at the Big A, we're in Anaheim tonight. Tigers and the Angels opening up a 4-game set. 2-0 Angels lead in the Pujols home run. First pitch is hammered high and deep to right field off the bat of Matt Joyce, and that thing is going to be way out of here. Man, oh man. The former Tiger Matt Joyce put a charge into that one.
Only the third home run of the year hit by Matt Joyce. That is a fastball that is right down the middle, and Matt Joyce absolutely destroyed it. So already in one inning, Buck Farmer has given up more home runs in the big leagues than he did in all minor leagues. 9 starts.
Again, as you said in the first, this ain't the Bushes. Joyce and Pujols with homers. 3-0 Angels.
Well, they usually don't miss those mistakes. I mean, that fastball was a mistake, even though it's firm at 95.
That ball hit well to right center field, and that one is going to be up against the wall. Iannetta going to second, and he's in there with a double. Iannetta came in batting 165, a 2-base hit for the Angel catcher.
It's an 82-mile-per-hour breaking ball that's on the outside part of the plate, but it's up, and Iannetta hit it about 380 feet from home plate, bouncing off the right center field wall.
Jeff Jones out to the mound to try and slow down the pace a little bit for Buck Farmer.
Well, Buck just needs to concentrate on getting the ball down. The hits that he's given up in this game already, the homer to Albert and the homer to Joyce and that double there by Iannetta, all those pitches up in the strike zone.
Angels already have 4 hits on the board, and 3 of them are for extra bases. Here is Grant Green. Just called him up from AAA Salt Lake on Tuesday. Showing bunt. Green trying to get Iannetta to third base. This is his second stint with the big club. The 0-1. Pops up the bunt, and it's going to drop right by Castellanos, and there's going to be no play. Everybody's safe.
If Castellanos could do that all over again, he wouldn't leave his feet. He would simply play the ball off of one bounce, and he would no doubt get the out at first base, because Green really wasn't that far out of the batter's box when that ball landed on the grass. So instead of diving for it, you let it bounce, then you throw the ball to first base, and you get the out.
Instead, it goes as a base hit, and now there are runners at first and third.
We brought it up at the top of the show. This Angels team, from an offensive standpoint, has not been very good this year. But they're beating up on Buck Farmer a little bit here early today.
Angels came in batting .234, dead last in the American League. And only the White Sox had scored fewer runs than the Angels this year. Good block behind the plate by McCann. 1-0 on Giavotella. Iannetta, the runner at third base. And you've got Green at first. It's Don Baylor, their hitting coach, and these are the numbers he's had to look at this year.
Yeah, dead last in batting average, on base percentage, 14th in slugging percentage. You talked about the runs. They're not even averaging 4 per game.
Farmer hits the outside corner.
Better fastball there by Farmer at 93. Maybe he was trying to overthrow here in the first couple of innings up to 95, 96. You take a little bit off, you go to 92, 93, and then you get a little bit of late movement in the strike zone.
Giavotella is 5 for his last 10. Buck has come out throwing strikes, but quite a few of them have been hit a long way. Farmer was 5-1 with a 2.98 in Toledo. Tigers minor league pitcher of the month for April when he was 3-0. But the Angels have come out swinging the bats in this one. They lead 3-0. Being chased back. Giavotella, .264 hitter. Former Royals second baseman. Bouncing ball foul.
And Giavotella's got some speed. He'll be tough to double up if he hits something on the ground.
Angels lost to San Diego last night 5-4. Giavotella had a hit late in that game, tried to stretch it to a double, was thrown out. Turned out to be a big play in that game. Farmer ahead 1-2. That'll get back out of play. The Mud Hens, in the 9 starts that Farmer made this year, won 7 of them. As Jeff Jones looks on, Tigers with some injuries have had to go with Lobstein, and Lobstein on the disabled list now, so Farmer coming up. Swinging a tip into the glove. That's strike 3 and a big out. 1 gone.
It's a well located breaking ball here thrown by Farmer to get strike 3. It's curveball at the bottom of the strike zone.
Top of the order now, Eric Ibar. Runners stay at first and third. Ibar had a single to right field in his first at bat, and then scored on the Pujols home run. Strike 1. Iannetta with a double standing at third. Green with a bunt single standing at first. Farmer's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Eric Ibar. Slowly but surely, Farmer trying to battle his way back into this inning. Ibar extended his hitting streak to 7 straight with his single in the first. That was his 50th hit of this season. And again, the runner back. Bouncing ball right side. Kinsler to second, one relay to first. It's a double play and a big one for Buck Farmer. So he's able to limit the damage. That one goes 4-6-3. The home run by Joyce gives him another. But the twin killing helps out Farmer big time here in the second. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
What did he say? Justin Verlander was among those warning of an earthquake to hit Southern California precisely at 4 p.m. this afternoon. So I asked JV about it. He said it was from a guy who had predicted them in the past, a guy named Frank, as JV put it. They actually talked about having a team meeting in center field just in case. Well, 4 o'clock came and went, and thankfully, Mario, Rod, we're all still here.
Yeah, Frank apparently doesn't know what he's talking about.
How do you not trust a guy named Frank?
Well, here's the other thing. At exactly 4 o'clock, Verlander was sitting at his locker, and the air conditioning unit jumped on, and there was a little bit of a rumbling, which kind of freaked him out for just a split second. But no earthquake. Thanks, Keats. It was a solid single to left field for James McCann, and the Tigers have their first hit.
Well, I grew up here in Santa Monica and experienced a few earthquakes, and
they're no fun.
They're scary.
So Wilson allows a leadoff hit. Here comes Jose Iglesias.
Well, Tigers just need to chip away against Wilson and make sure they get some balls up. Don't try to do too much. Take what he gives you. First start for Iglesias since last Saturday when he banged knees with Chris Carter of the Houston Astros.
Strike one on Iglesias. So Jose misses 4 games, and Machado got an opportunity to come up. Got some playing time. But Jose back in there tonight with his .333 average. He'll slide low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Iglesias has done outstanding work this year with the bat, batting in that 9 spot for the most part, turning that lineup over to Anthony Gose or Rajai Davis.
It's hit safely in 11 of his last 14. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jose.
Not striking out very much this year. Gives you a nice quality at bat on a nightly basis.
Is certainly taking the next step offensively, and his defense, of course, has never left him. Wilson with the 2-1. Instead, he goes back to the bag. Wilson, a 13-game winner last year, 13-10. His ERA, though, is 4.5. Last start against Boston gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. Drilled to left field, but foul.
Here's that injury last Saturday. And for those of you that did not see this, bang knees with big Chris Carter. Left knee to left knee. Had a lot of swelling in that knee for the next couple of days.
It was like a mosquito bite to Carter.
That's right.
Here's the 2-2. Ooh, right back to the mound, knocked down by Wilson. They'll go to second. One relay. Not in time. Safe. Wilson unable to hold on to that ball. Lucky that he was able to get something on it.
And Wilson already today doing a pretty nice job of fielding his position. He made a nice play on Rajai Davis to lead off the game, and he nearly helped his squad turn a double play. They haven't turned many double plays this year as a team.
One on, one out. Here's Anthony Gose. 200 this year against left-handed pitching, but goes .338 overall. In fact, Anthony has 14 extra base hits now, which is a career high already. Not even June yet. But that's a product, though, of playing every day, and he's certainly earned that. No balls, 1 strike on Gose.
Gose had a really good spring with the bat, and he's pretty much continued that into the first 2 months of the season.
You know what I found about Anthony personally is he's a man of few words when he does interviews, but if you sit in the locker room and talk with him, he is a really engaging guy.
Yep.
And he's had a great year. Wilson again back to the bag.
He's got quite a few family members here tonight. He grew up in Southern California.
6'1", 190, 24 years old. Ghost swings and misses. 0-2 on Anthony. Tigers fell behind 3-0. Pujols with a 2-run shot in the first, and then Joyce with a home run in the second. One ball, 2 strikes.
I was leaving to come over to the ballpark today, and I saw the Blackhawks were checking into our team hotel.
They got a Game 7 coming up on Saturday. So the Tigers will play here against the Angels, and the Ducks will be playing right across the street. Ghost swings and misses. So Wilson gets a strikeout. That'll be the second of the game for Wilson.
Pretty good breaking ball here thrown by Wilson. It's slow. It's 77 miles an hour. And he locates it beautifully on the outside of Black and low.
What do we have on C.J. Wilson here? He's thrown 40 in this game, 26 strikes. And he'll deal now with Rajai Davis. Rajai showing bunt. Did not offer. Will Little, the first base umpire, said he didn't go. Davis 1 for 7 in the series against the Athletics. Strike called, 1-1. Wilson did not become a starter until 2010. He was 29 years of age at that time. When he came up to the big leagues, he was basically a reliever, a closer for the Rangers.
Had a fastball that was in the mid-90s.
And ever since joining the starting rotation, whether in Texas or here with the Angels, he's been a double-digit winner every year. Popped up foul down the first base line. Headed back to the seats, a couple of rows deep. CJ, as a matter of fact, pitched in over 100 games as a reliever before he converted to the starting rotation. Signed himself a big 5-year deal with the Angels. Here's the 2-2. 3-2 on Rajai Davis. So that'll give the runner at first base, Iglesias, a head start. There's Kinsler waiting on deck. And Wilson steps off. CJ had a 1-2-3 second, helped out by a double play in the first inning. Rolled foul. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by the 2 for $5 mix or match filet of fish and 10-piece McNuggets. See if Rajai can find a gap here. You've got Iglesias on the move with the 3-2 count. And he walked him. Ball 4. That'll put 2 men on. Second walk for Wilson. He's going to keep it going now for Ian Kinsler.
Ian Kinsler, really good career numbers against his former teammate, C.J. Wilson. And C.J. Wilson threw him 12 pitches in his first at bat before finally walking him.
Kinsler's average at 280. Boy, would this be a good spot for his first home run this year. It's been a long homerless drought for Kinsler, who hit 17 of them last year but does not have one yet this season. Long ball here would tie it up. Ball one. Iglesias at second, Davis at first. Tigers have really good speed on the bases. Here's that homerless drought, 188 consecutive at bats. The longest drought of the career for Kinsler. High again, 2-0.
Tigers have done a nice job of laying off that fastball up in the strike zone that Wilson throws up by design. He tries to get you to swing through that pitch.
Here's the 2-0. Taking right at the knees, 2-1 Ian. A little bit of a chat with Adam Hammery, the home plate umpire. That's 50 now for Wilson. This has been his lengthiest inning, thanks to a hit and a walk. Now it's 3-1. And you've got Cabrera waiting on deck. So Wilson building himself a problem here in the third. Wilson with the 3-1. Drilled toward left field. That ball is hooking foul. Full count now, 3-2. Kinsler, despite the recent slump that he's been in, still has 18 multi-hit games this year, which is among the highest total in the American League. Built himself a pretty good cushion, despite breaking that 0 for 22 slump yesterday. Still hitting 280. Fouled straight back.
It's like Miggy's found himself a friend in the stands.
Stunning. Taking photos. He's messing around. The look on that young man's face. Three and two. Drilled to right field, but that's going to slice. So once again, Kinsler is giving Wilson, his former teammate, fits. Meanwhile, Davis and Iglesias are pretty much winded.
Getting their sprints in.
That they are. Look at Rajay. Rajay's breathing hard. Another ground ball foul. So Kinsler alone is driving Wilson's pitch count into the stratosphere. Meanwhile, Rajay taking longer and longer to get back to first. Rajay's like, help me out, will you? Put one in play. Kinsler is about to see his 20th pitch in this game. Here it is. And he walked him, and that's going to load the bases. Oh, and here comes Cabrera now. back-to-back walks. They have loaded the bases. And we'll get a conversation on the mound as Mike Butcher comes out to help Wilson out.
I think Mike Butcher is in Arizona. I think one of his children were graduating from high school.
Well, okay then. So Mr. Butcher is not here. Well, here is our T-Mobile game changer. We know that for fact. And when you're talking about two of the best players in the game right now, you got to start with Cabrera and Trout. And here is a little comparison since 2012. They have changed a lot of games between them. Trout with a WAR of over 31, Miggy at 21. All-Star games, MVPs. There's a strike call.
They have finished 1-2 the last 3 years as far as the MVP is concerned. Trout won it last year, Miggy the previous 2 seasons.
Well, the Tigers are down 3-0. However, the Angels lefty is in a jam here with the bases loaded. And Cabrera takes up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wilson not afraid to pitch inside aggressively, even though the fastball tops out at 92 miles an hour these days. It really opens up the outside corner for him with the fading changeup or the backdoor curveball.
406 career with the bases loaded. Lifted back out of play, and now Wilson ahead 1-2.
And Miggy had a really good fastball to hit there, and he knew it. It was about 91, and it was away from him, but he had a great swing at it.
Cabrera waiting on a 1-2 pitch with the bases loaded. Cabrera drilled by the pitch, and that'll force in a run.
That backdoor slider hit him on that back leg, that back foot. That's the one that was surgically repaired in the offseason, too.
Let's get an RBI the hard way. Doug Teeter is out to take a look at him. Iglesias scores 3-1.
And Brad Ausmus gave Miguel the day off on Memorial Day in Oakland because that right ankle was a little bit crispy, and he goes right down and hits him on that back foot with that breaking ball. Looks like he got him right on the toe.
And Cabrera is definitely limping as he heads to first base. Fortunately, he's smiling. That is his 33rd RBI of the year. I don't know if that's a smile or a wince. So it's a 3-1 ball game, and Cespedes is going to come up. Miggy going to retie a shoe here and try and get some of that feeling back in his foot. But he's okay. So here's Cespedes now. 3-1. C.J. Wilson, meanwhile, has now thrown 32 pitches here in the 30s, up to 60 for the game.
Well, he walked Davis, he walked Kinsler, and he hits Miguel.
And now Cespedes, a chance to give his team the lead. In there for a strike off speed. 0-1. Yoenis bounced out his first time up. Davis, Kinsler, Cabrera, your base runners. Plays Cespedes around the left side of the infield. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. .452 with bases loaded career. This season, you know, he's got a grand slam that came against the White Sox. 4 for 8. Here's the 1-1. Popped up foul, back out of play.
Cespedes had a big hit yesterday afternoon in Oakland, the place where he started his major league career. 3-run home run to left field.
One and 2. Cespedes, the 7th man at bat in this inning. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looked like Wilson, after he struck out Ghost for the second out, was going to be able to get through this inning. Then a couple of walks and a hit batter.
It looks like Wilson's only going to get about 5-6 innings in today. He's already thrown 64 pitches and 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Got him, strike 3. Cespedes was bailing out of the way, and he's punched out of there. They get a run on the hit batter, and it's now a 3-1 ball game. Farmer goes back to the hill as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun. 2, 3, and 4 for the Angels. Farmer has surrendered a couple of home runs. 2-run shot to Pujols. Solo homer to Matt Joyce. Breaking ball away to Trout, who grounded out his first time up, 0 for 1. Trout's done the majority of his damage on the road this year. 260 at home, but 323 on the road. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've got the shift on to the left side of the infield. Farmer's 1-1. 1 and 2 on Trout, who did not like that call. Here are those splits, and you can see as well that he has hit more home runs and knocked in more on the road. 7 long balls away from the Big A. Up and in. Count levels at 2 and 2.
No doubt he will go to his 4th All-Star game this year. And Mike Trout, the only player in baseball that has received more votes than him in the American League, is Salvador Perez.
Sharply to the shortstop, but straight at Iglesias. Trout is out, one gone.
Here is the Nissan drive of the game. Albert Pujols got his squad on the board first. It was a changeup that was hanging in the strike zone. And the one thing that Buck Farmer should do again this time is get inside on Pujols. He had broken his bat on the previous fastball inside, and then Pujols got a new bat, and then he got him a changeup right over the heart of the plate.
Albert's home run is 9th, extending his hitting streak to a modest 4-gamer. Drives this one back out of play 0-1. Pujols is signed through 2021. Signed a 10-year deal to come to the Angels. And it seemed like he was always going to be a Cardinal for his entire career. Spent a lot of years in St. Louis, a lot of productive seasons. The 0-1. It's funny though, you let a guy like Pujols walk to another team, and really the Cardinals have not skipped a beat.
They haven't. Well, the Cardinals had a Hall of Fame manager in Tony La Russa, and then he stepped down, and Mike Matheny came in, and he's done marvelous work. Back-to-back fastballs to Pujols, and he comes back with a really good breaking ball. Farmer appears to be settling in here, not throwing that breaking ball as hard as he was trying to throw it early in the game. Actually, that's his changeup.
Fly ball right field, hit pretty good. Martinez back though, has room to make the play. 2 gone, time for a game break. Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thanks. Here it is, 3-1. The Angels over the Tigers.
The Angels are basically paying Josh Hamilton's salary. Even though he's playing for another team, they're basically paying his entire salary.
Well, it just didn't work out here, and of course Hamilton had a relapse, and even ever since he got here, he just never found traction in an Angels uniform. Based on the numbers he had put up with Texas in his first go-round.
Yeah, he was an MVP candidate every single year there in Texas for about 4 or 5 years.
2-0 on Cole Calhoun. Was out in front that time, and he takes 2-1.
Farmer loves that changeup. It's a power change. It's a hard changeup at about 86 miles an hour, but the differential is not bad. 9 miles per hour differential off the fastball at 95 miles an hour.
He's gone 3-1.
So far tonight, Farmer has thrown 63% of fastballs of the 50 pitches he's thrown. 37% off speed.
Calhoun rips one right to first and right at Miguel Cabrera. It'll be a 1-2-3 innings. So Buck Farmer has righted the ship after a couple of early homers.
here at Angels Stadium. Tomorrow night there will be a cow milking competition between an Angel and a Tiger, and they went looking through the clubhouse today to find a milking representative on the Tigers, and Price chirped up right away, "I've done it, I'll do it again." And then he began going into some of the intricacies of his milking experience last year. He says his cow was out of milk. He ended up losing. He kind of talked himself out of doing it, and so it will be Alex Wilson who was volunteered. Every Tiger took a step back. There was Alex Wilson still standing there. He will milk a cow against an Angel tomorrow night here at the ballpark, Mario.
Yeah, Keats, many moons ago when I did the Angels games here, they had those things every single season. And David Price, I'm here to tell you, made the right choice in backing out. There's a fly ball to right field off the bat of Martinez, one gone.
David Price, he wears a protective device on his right foot there, just in case Brad ever wants to call on him to pinch hit or something. He's ready. He got bat gloves and everything. I'm like, come on, he's not going to call on you.
What are the odds of that happening?
He's an interesting individual, and he is a tremendous teammate. I mean, he's a great teammate.
Roll toward third. Freeze gobbles that one up, and Castellanos is out.
A couple of days ago in Oakland, when Justin Verlander threw his simulated game, Price was starting the game that night, but he was out there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon sitting in the stands cheering him on. And yesterday's game, he was standing in the bullpen while the starter was warming up. No, it was Green that was throwing a bullpen. He was standing in the bullpen with a bat, just kind of watching Green pitch. He's a good teammate, Price.
Price was also out with a lot of the Tigers pitchers and a lot of the position players today taking early batting practice. Got to the ballpark early, around 1 o'clock, 1:30. And so Price was taking his hacks. You never know. Skipper might call on you. Not likely, though. 2 outs for James McCann, who singled to get things started back in the third. Rips that one foul. Wilson desperately needs a quick inning here in the fourth to get his pitch count back into some kind of shape. Meanwhile, McCann continues to swing a pretty good bat. 70 now for Wilson. Swing and miss. So the Tigers will go quickly and quietly here in the fourth inning. Another strikeout for C.J. Wilson. Still 3-1 Angels.
Farmer got off to a slow start here today, giving up home runs to Howard Pujols and Matt Joyce on balls up in the strike zone. But the last couple of innings, he's made outstanding pitches to the bottom of the strike zone with that really good curveball and that power changeup, and he's locating his fastball in a much better spot.
Well, he's retired 5 in a row now after a little bit of trouble again in the second. It could have been a lot worse. Gave up just the 1 run. He's thrown 52 now in the ball game. David Freese looks at a ball outside. 2-0. Farmer's only start last year in the major leagues came against the Pirates, and that was in the month of August. He went 5 innings, 4 runs, 4 strikeouts in that game. Good pitch on the outer edge. 2-1. Freeze flying to right field his first time up, 0 for 1.
Mike Maroth, who is the pitching coach in AAA this year, Toledo, has been teaching Buck Farmer a 2-seam fastball. Give him another fastball instead of the 4-seamer all the time. At 95, you take a little off. At about 91, 92, you get more movement. We saw a couple of those earlier in the season. Mike Maroth, he's going to be a big league pitching coach here at some point in time. He's trying to climb the ladder quickly.
Very quickly. It was just in Lakeland seemingly yesterday, and now he's in AAA. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I've known Mike a long time. He was part of that 2003 team that lost 119 games in Detroit. High towering fly ball to left. Cespedes cruising back. And freezes out, 1 away. Hey, see the Tigers play the A's June 2nd through the 4th. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, 4 drinks, all for just $76. The weekday value pack. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. So with 1 out, here is Matt Joyce, who has now homered in consecutive games for the Halos. He homered back in the 2nd. A ball that was just rocketed out of here down the right field line. Tigers have him played to pull. The shift is on to the right side. Homer number 3 on the season for Joyce, the former Tiger. Bouncing ball right side, straight into that shift where Kinsler has it. 2 outs. Now Chris Iannetta. Iannetta doubled in the 2nd. He has really come on after a really bad start. He was 0-91 after his first 22 games. He's gone 344 since. And he swings the first pitch and hits it straight to center field. Anthony Gose is under it, and another good inning for Buck Farmer. He's retired 8 straight. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Meijer, save big with M-Perks from Meijer. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here at the Big A, we're in Anaheim, California tonight. Tigers continuing this West Coast swing with the first of 4. against the Angels. Angels ran out to a 3-0 lead. It's now 3-1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Jose Iglesias will lead it off for the Tigers. Iglesias, Ghosts, and then Rajai Davis against C.J. Wilson. Ball 1 to Iglesias. Reaching on a fielder's choice and scoring a run back in the 3rd. The only Tigers run so far. Ball high. Wilson had a 1-2-3-4 after a long, arduous 3rd inning in which he hit a batter. He walked a couple. Showing bunt, ball outside. 3-0. It sure looks like Wilson has had a tendency to nibble a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, he's pitching away from contact. It would be that definition of that.
And Iglesias gets a leadoff walk. 4 walks now for Wilson. MGM Grand Detroit brings you the scouting report on Anthony Ghosts, who's strolling into the batter's box. Most improved line drive percentage among American League hitters. Ghosts is hitting, of the balls he's putting in play, more of them are line drives this year over last year. 17% up to 25, nearly 26%.
You know, those of you that watch Tigers baseball in the regular, we have told you that Anthony Ghosts, going back to Tiger Fest in the Caravan, started working with Wally Joyner, David Newhand, and they've just developed a really nice rapport. Works in the cage a lot, soft toss, tee work, and it's really allowed him to hit down on the ball, which is a result of a lot of line drives.
And he popped up a bunt there back into the seats.
Yeah, that fastball was up, and that's really the only place that Ghost could bunt that ball. He bunted for a hit yesterday, and he's bunted for a lot of hits already this season.
But not likely to bunt now with a count 0-2. Anthony struck out his first time up.
C.J. Wilson had one other start this year where he walked 4 batters in a game. It came on the 18th of April, and it was against the Houston Astros. The team they're chasing in the standings.
Swing and a miss. Ghost again goes down on strikes. 1 out.
For the 2nd consecutive at-bat, C.J. Wilson got Ghost on the exact same breaking ball.
It'll be the 5th strikeout for C.J. Wilson. Here's Rajai Davis. Rajai is 0 for 1 with a walk. There's a bunt to 3rd, foul. You mentioned Wally Joyner. This is a homecoming for Wally. Of course, the first 6 years of his career were played here in Anaheim as an Angel, and they dubbed the Big A in those days Wally World.
He had a lot of success here.
Where's Wally? Always nostalgic to come back here to Anaheim, where his big league career began.
Wally's a pretty good golfer, too.
Really?
Yes, he is. He's a good golfer.
He was an all-star as a rookie here with the Angels.
Iglesias, before he banged that left knee last Saturday, had stolen quite a few bags, but not likely to run here with Wilson on the mound. Wilson has a slide step, and he gives his catcher a lot of time to throw.
Seven out of 8 for Iglesias in the stolen base category. Drilled to center field. That's going to get down. Base hit. Iglesias will go to 3rd. He's in there standing up, and the Tigers are in business now here in the 5th. 2 on, 1 out.
It's a nice job in center field by Trout. Line drive sharply hitting the left center field, but Trout with his speed able to cut it off. And then he makes the right decision, not throwing this ball to third base. Iglesias was going to make the third no matter what. He thought about it, and then he said, no, I'm going to go back over to first to second base to make sure I keep the double play in order for Wilson. That's a good play by Trout.
Now the tying runs on for the Tigers. Here is Ian Kinsler. In his first 2 at-bats tonight, Kinsler has fouled off a total of 10 pitches. It's down the right field line, heading back toward the seats, but it's going to stay in play. Caught, runner tags at third, and Iglesias not going to come home on a bullet by the right fielder Calhoun.
Calhoun has a pretty good arm, but I thought possibly he would try to force the issue and score. But then if you're Dave Clark, you have to think about the fact that you've got Miguel Cabrera strolling to the batter's box with 2 outs and a couple of runners aboard. You didn't want to take the chance. That was about Miguel Cabrera right there.
Miggy was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded back in the third, driving in a run.
If you're the opposing pitcher, you try to get yourselves in situations where you don't really have to pitch to Miguel Cabrera, but basically the last couple of times CJ has he's had to. Bases were loaded last time Miggy was up.
He picked up his 33rd RBI. Up and in, spins him out of there.
He continues to crowd Miguel with those 91-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Wilson is allowed to walk in a single here in the 5th inning. Now Miguel given time. While the Tigers did good work against Trout last year, the Angels held Cabrera to just a 143 average last season in the season series. Miggy looks at a strike, 1-1.
It's one of the things that they've always done. They've always crowded him with fastballs inside, and there are a lot of pitchers in the majors that are afraid to throw fastballs inside to Miggy. But if you're going to get him out, I mean, you pretty much have to tie him up in there.
Driven to center field. Trout is on the move, still going back, and run it down in front of the wall. And Wilson pitches out of the jam. No runs, a walk, a hit, 2 men left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Big A. Buck Farmer back to work, and his first one is in there, a strike call to Grant Green. Green, Giavotella, and then Eric Ibar. 8-9-1 for Mike Scioscia. Bouncing ball off the glove of Farmer, but Kinsler has him backed up. One gone. You talk about turning things around. Look at what Buck has been able to do.
Yeah, he made some mistakes up in the strike zone in the first couple of innings with his off-speed stuff, the power changeup and the breaking ball, but hasn't made many mistakes in the last couple of innings.
9 in a row retired by Farmer. Here's Johnny Giavotella. Ripped fair down the left field line, extra bases. Cespedes running to the corner to get it. Giavotella is going to take the turn. He could have challenged it, and Giavotella is in there sliding. It's a triple. Cespedes really wasn't running extremely hard after that ball. It goes to 3-bagger.
Yeah, you don't usually see triples down in the left field corner. He was playing him in the right center field, and by the time he got over there, because of the overshift, he was jogging after the ball, and then by the time he does get it in after he bobbles it, Giavotella gets himself a triple, but he was not running all that aggressively for that ball in the corner.
Giavotella noticed that as he was approaching second base and never broke stride. So they've got a man at third now with 1 out, and Ibar will try and score him. First triple of the year for Johnny Giavotella. Tigers now will pull the infield in. This is the 4th extra base hit of this game for the Angels. Ibar backs out, 1 ball, no strikes. Only .226 this year with runners in scoring position. Ibar singled, scored a run in the first. Here's the 1-0, showing bunt, lays it down. Here comes the runner home. Giavotella scores, and Ibar drives in a run.
I think Ibar may have pulled a hamstring. Came up lame running down that first baseline.
Sure looks like it.
It's a good idea. Ibar can really handle the bat. Gets it down perfectly, and by the time Castellanos picks it up, Giavotella able to score. That was not a suicide squeeze. It was more of a safety squeeze.
So Giavotella comes around to score to make it 4-1.
That's a big play there by Ibar, because had they been able to retire him, I doubt very seriously if Brad would have pitched to Mike Trout.
He sends a ground ball just foul outside of the bag.
Even though Pujols has homered here today, teams have taken the liberty of pitching around Trout or walking him to get to Albert, and that would have been one of those situations.
.294 this year from Trout, 11 home runs. Right back up the middle. Kinsler on the move. Trout is retired. It's a 4-3 ground out. A run in for the Angels, and 5 in the books, 4-1.
Trout and his wins above replacement. He's irreplaceable. In that particular situation, he prevents a double on the line drive off the bat of Rajai Davis, and then playing very deep goes to the other side of center field and takes a base hit away from Miguel Cabrera. So he plays both sides of the ball, and that's why he is so valuable.
4-1 is our score now. The Angels have added another run to go back up by 3. And it'll be Yoenis Cespedes followed by J.D. Martinez, Nick Castellanos. C.J. Wilson back out there. Swing and missed by Yoenis. Well, we have a new shortstop. Taylor Featherston will take over now for Ivar, as we thought might happen. He pulled up on that bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cespedes 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. .288 batting average for Yoenis. Fouled away. Angels saw a lot of Cespedes when he broke into the big leagues. Of course, he broke in with the A's in the same division as the Angels.
Yeah, they played each other 19 times during the course of the regular season.
So their scouting report on Mr. Cespedes is pretty healthy. Here's the 1-2.
Wilson's thrown some pretty good breaking balls, anywhere from 79 to 83 miles an hour. Curveball variety that have been located very well against the left-hander. Ghosts in the lineup, and also some of the right-handers the Tigers have in the lineup tonight.
300 career against Wilson. Swing and a miss. Nope, got a piece of it. You know, for as good as Wilson has been, and we talked about, he's a double-digit winner every year in the big leagues. He really does struggle in the postseason. He has not been able to put anything together in postseason play. Just 1-6 with an ERA of over 5. And he's now reached 90 in the pitch count. Two and 2. Strike 3 call, and Cespedes does not like it or believe it.
The previous pitch was in the exact same spot.
Right.
And it was called a ball by Adam Hammer. And he comes back with the same fastball up in the strike zone, and he calls this one a strike.
Well, 1 out, 6 strikeouts now for C.J. Wilson.
Second time he's gotten Cespedes looking at strike 3.
J.D. Martinez strikeout flyout. Make it 0-2. Wilson 1 year finishing as high as 6th in Cy Young voting. That was 2011. It's the year Verlander won it with the MVP. Ball high, 1-2 the count. Angels gave him an early lead in this one with a couple of home run balls. Pujols and Joyce. Up again. 2-2. JD now is 0 for his last 13. Healthy rip there, fouled it straight back. Tomorrow night in game 2 of the series, Sanchez and Santiago. This is a 4-game set, which wraps up on Sunday. The Tigers come back home. Just missed. 3-2. Wilson gaining on 100 pitches. Here comes number 99. And he walked him. Another walk for Wilson.
That's 5 of them tonight.
Sure is. Fans, don't forget to enter now for a chance to win a trip to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. Upload 2 baseball-themed photos of yourself at foxsports.com/fantasticallstar now through June 3rd. And you could be going. How about the All-Star voting? Miggy right now is first among first basemen. Got some work to do to get some other Tigers in there, though. Iglesias is in second place among shortstops. Castellanos cuts and misses.
Right now, the Kansas City Royals have quite a few starting spots in the All-Star voting.
This is the first year that All-Star voting has been exclusively done via the internet. Wilson now at 100. It was a 37 pitch third inning, which kind of unraveled his pitch count.
He threw a season high 119 pitches in his last start, C.J. Wilson. That was against the Boston Red Sox in Boston. But you know that ballpark can really tax you, even though Boston not having a good year. That's a tough place to pitch.
Fernando Salas warming up in the Angels pen because of the pitch count. Castellanos didn't like that last call from Hammery.
Hammery's been getting quite a few crooked looks here tonight.
The 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Castellanos called out on strikes. 7 of them now in the strikeout column. That'll bring up James McCann. Single strikeout for McCann.
Career high in walks for C.J. Wilson is 6. He's walked 5 here and tonight.
Ball 1.
Mike Scioscia really not all that happy to turn this game over to his bullpen. His bullpen has struggled lately. But he's going to have to.
One 1-0 on McCann. That's fouled back. Left hamstring tightness as we expected for Ibar. That's why he left the ball game tonight.
Yeah, they're calling it tightness, but it looked like it was a little bit more than that.
Mike Scioscia led his team to a huge year last year. They were 98-64.
Detroit hitters have fouled off 27 pitches here tonight, and that's another reason why the pitch count of Wilson is at 105.
Two and 1 on McCann. Brad going over some numbers. McCann nubs one back to the mound. Wilson going to handle this one, and that is going to take care of the Tigers. Nothing comes of the 1-out walk. Bottom of the 6th coming up for the Big A. It has been a heck of a career for Albert Pujols, who will lead things off here in the 6th inning. Pujols, Calhoun, and Freese. And here are the actives against Detroit. Pujols top of that list, 381 versus Detroit. Albert looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Pujols, 2-run shot back in the first. His 9th of the year. Albert last season knocked in 105 runs. I didn't realize he knocked in that many last year. Had 28 home runs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Buck Farmer gave up the 2 early runs, the 2 early home runs, I should say, and then gave up another run in the 5th. 4-1, Angels have the lead. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball, third base side, foul. 3-2 on Albert. We're mentioning, Rod, that he signed through 2021. And just wonder when you approach the final, I don't know, 2-3 years of that deal, how much he's going to give on the return. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's fouled back out of play.
I think when Artie Moreno gave him that contract, he envisioned that he might not be performing on the field the tail end of the contract, but obviously he'll be doing something for the Angels.
Here's the 3-2 again. Inside, ball 4. Time for a game break now. We check in with Johnny Kane. Johnny, thanks. The Indians trying to get back up to 500. They are 21-25. Here it's 4-1. Angels have the lead. Leadoff walk for Pujols. Cole Calhoun will stand in. Ball 1 to Calhoun. For 2 for Calhoun, who led off mostly last season, but they're trying to find someone right now to back up Pujols in the lineup that can offer just a little bit of protection. I think Calhoun can be that guy. He's got some pop. Hard-nosed player. Hit 17 home runs last year. Miss inside. 2-0 now on Calhoun.
These are the counts that you have to stay out of in the big leagues. Even though Buck Farmer has that mid-90s fastball, as we look at the American League Central, Kansas City, Minnesota tied at the top. Tigers 1 game back, and both Cleveland and Chicago have won their games tonight. You have to stay out of these 2-0 counts if you're going to throw fastballs to these big league hitters.
Threw in there and threw it right by.
He sure did. It was a huge cut by Calhoun, and that's the reason why he came up empty, is he was trying to hit a home run instead of just taking a really nice, easy swing, and Calhoun was trying to leave earth.
Buck Farmer out of Conyers, Georgia, played his college ball at Georgia Tech. First team All-ACC there, 5th round pick of the Tigers just a couple of years ago, 2013. Right back up the middle, into center field, base hit. Pujols will go to second base, and the first 2 men on for the Angels.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it is always brought to you by Xfinity. Buck Farmer has thrown quite a few fastballs today that have reached 95 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour with a really slow breaking ball as Jeff Jones takes a slow stroll to the mound.
There's some stirring in the Detroit bullpen. We'll get some action going now as Josie tries to buy a little bit of time here. While they talk about what they're talking about, we'll tell you this: catch 4 games at Comerica Park for as low as $73. The new Detroit Tigers 4-packs. Choose 4 bobblehead giveaways, 4 fireworks nights, or 4 weekday matinee games. Call 313-471-2255 or check it out online. Tigers.com. The Tiger 4-packs. Pretty good deal. There is the Tigers action. It's Angel Nesbitt. So here is David Freese with 2 on and nobody out.
Buck Farmer could sure use a ground ball here, but Freese, pretty much a fly ball hitter, has only grounded into 2 twin killings this season.
Farmer got eyebarred and bounced into a double play back in the second.
Freese doesn't get cheated up there. Man, does he take a healthy cut.
His flyouts tonight have gone to right field and left field. The 0-1. Good pitch, 0-2.
One of the best breaking balls he's thrown here tonight. Big breaking ball, a lot of depth.
Drilled to left field, that's a base hit. Pujols will get to third, and no farther than that. They have loaded him up. And a walk and 2 singles.
Buck Farmer able to get ahead of David Freese. No balls and 2 strikes. And then he comes back with a pitch that just gets way too much plate. And you have to, when you get yourself in those situations, no balls, 2 strikes, you have to really make a quality pitch.
Here is Matt Joyce. Base is loaded, nobody out. Joyce did a home run in his first at bat. That was back in the second. Joyce acquired for Kevin Jepson, a pitcher from Tampa. It was in December they made that trade. Spent the last 6 years with the Tampa Bay Rays. Got him loaded up here. There's Farmer's 1-0. Joyce swings and misses.
Good changeup. The Angels have only averaged about 3 runs per contest when C.J. Wilson has been their starter. And today they already have 4 runs for him, and they're looking to do more damage here. Bases loaded in the 6th with no one out.
The 1-1. Ground ball right side, knocked down by Miggy. He'll kick it. Shovel to the pitcher covering. Everybody is safe. Pujols scores. Joyce drives in another. It's 5-1. That's going to be it as Brad Ausmus makes his way onto the mound. And he'll take the baseball now from Farmer, who will depart the scene. Tigers make a pitching change. Wall side windows pitching change. Here comes Nesbitt. 5-1 ball game now, and the bases are still loaded with Angels. Run in here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Buck Farmer is out of this game.
The Angels, they've never seen Angel Nesbitt, and there's Don Baylor, their hitting coach, with the scouting report giving to the hitters that will see him, and also talking about some of the tendencies of Angel Nesbitt.
So Nesbitt checks in with numbers that look like this. 20th appearance of the year.
13 strikeouts, only 4 base on balls, and he's got to do some whale of a job here to strand all the runners out there that Buck Farmer's left him.
Well, here is Iannetta. He is facing the bottom 3 in the lineup. Infield coming in for the Tigers. One for 2 for Iannetta.
Prior to this outing, Nesbitt has inherited 16 base runners. Only 3 of those have come around to score.
Five innings, 9 hits. Right now, 5 earned runs, but all 3 of the guys on the bases are his property. See what Nesbitt can do here. Iannetta sends a ground ball to third. Castellanos comes home. They get 1 there, and that's it. So they remain loaded with 1 out.
Not to pick on Castellanos at all, but that's a double play ball. I mean, that ball's hit that sharply at Castellanos. You come home, you get the force, but he didn't give McCann enough time to get the out at first. I mean, once you get this ball, you got to get it there in a hurry. And then once you get it to your catcher, he's got a chance to complete that double play.
As it stands, it is a fielder's choice. They'll force Calhoun at home, and now here is Grant Green. Can goes sliding down and block that one. 1-0. Green 1 for 2. Single ground out. One and one.
Good firm fastball there thrown by Nesbitt at 96 miles an hour. He's got a really nice, smooth, easy delivery and throws straight downhill.
Green pops and foul back out of play. Now it's 1-2.
Tigers have been one of the best bullpens in all of baseball in the month of May. They've just kind of turned it around. And it's going to be very important for them to continue to play and produce the way that they have if the Tigers are going to play some meaningful games in the final 2 months of the season.
Nesbitt ready with the 1-2. Here it is. Bouncer slowly back up the middle. Kinsler has only 1 play. They'll get the out at first base. Another run scores as Freeze comes in to make it 6-1. RBI for Green. Two outs now, second and third. That run is charged to the starter Farmer. Here's Giavotella.
6 runs scored by the Angels here tonight, the most they've gotten of their starter C.J. Wilson all year. What is it about this place, Mr. Impemba, that the Tigers just struggle so much to win games?
Pondering that about an inning ago. There's a wild pitch that's going to get away and score another run. Standing up. Neuheis comes in, the pinch runner. And it's 7-1. Both Runners move up. Wild pitch. But back to your question, the Tigers came in having lost 9 of their last 10 here. And it's not like they've been overmatched in terms of talent. They've come in with some really good teams.
But the score usually is a score like this score when they come here.
It's a 6-run game right now. Strike called on Giavotella. A 3-run inning here for the Angels, extending their lead to 7-1. Good pitch right in the outer edge. Giavotella not so crazy about that call. 1-2. Triple, run scored back in the 5th, 1 for 2 tonight. He sits safely now in 5 in a row. Down the left field line, hooking, foul. And a one-hop play by a fan in row 1. How tough has it been to win here at Angel Stadium? Here, the head-to-head numbers since 2010.
They've only scored 2 runs, just over 2 runs in this ballpark. ERA from a team standpoint over 4. Their earned run average under 2.
There from Nesbitt, fouled straight back. 1-2 to count. Farmer walked the leadoff man he faced, then gave up a couple of hits. And a single by Joyce signaled the end for Buck. The foul as Giavotella just got a piece of it. They got Giavotella from the Royals for the month of December. He's at the University of New Orleans. There was one time where it looked like Giavotella might be the guy to hold down second base for years to come for the Royals.
That was a troublesome spot for the Kansas City Royals until Omar Infante solidified it last year.
Pulled to third base, Castellanos. In the dirt, being able to pick it and tag the bag for the out. However, 3 more runs in for the Angels. We'll go to the 7th inning out in Big A, 7-1.
squad on the board first with a 2-run shot in the very first inning. The Tigers, they scored their lone run with the bases loaded after Miggy was hit in the foot, and Buck Farmer appeared to settle in until the 6th. 3 more runs scored by the Angels in the 6th. Nesbitt came on to relieve him, but he couldn't strand all the runners, and Buck Farmer gave up 7 here today.
Yeah, Buck Farmer at one point had retired 9 straight. Meanwhile, the Angels have gone to the bullpen. C.J. Wilson is done. Fernando Salas is the new pitcher.
I told you the Angels bullpen in 4 of their last 5 losses has really struggled, but Mike Scioscia really no issues turning this one over to the bullpen with a 6-run lead.
So the Angels make a wall-side windows pitching change. Salas will go to work. And the Tigers need to go to work now. They're down by 6. Iglesias, Ghosts, and Rajai Davis against the right-hander. Walk, fielder's choice run scored for Iglesias. In for strike 1. So a change out in left field. Joyce out of the game, and Nieuwenhuis remains in the game after pinch running for him.
Salas absolutely loves his changeup. He's got a fastball that will go anywhere from 89 to 91 miles an hour. And he's got a sinker as well that'll move around at the bottom of the strike zone, but a heavy dose of changeups thrown by Salas. 23% of his pitches this season have been changeups, and a lot of curves as well, so he doesn't try to overpower you.
Mike Scioscia got a couple of home runs early in this game to set the tone. Pujols and Joyce. They've added on now a 7-1 lead. The 0-2. Salas, a native of Mexico. Big league time with the Cardinals before coming to the Angels. "29 years old. He'll be 30 in just a couple of days." And the foul by Iglesias. The only Tigers run scoring in this game back in the 3rd. Bases loaded, hit by pitch. Cabrera was hit in the foot. That's been it. Tigers struggle to get runs in Oakland as well, yet they won 2 out of 3. Here's the 0-2 again. Got under that one. And the shallow left field, Nieuwenhuis comes in. 1 out. Hey, Saturday Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 returns. The Diamondbacks take on the Brewers at 4 Eastern. Then 7 Eastern, it's Baseball Night in America. It's on Fox as the Royals battle the Cubs. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1. Here's Anthony Ghosts, who was probably glad to see C.J. Wilson out of the game. C.J. struck him out twice. Big rip there, 0-1. Seven-game hitting streak on the line for Ghosts. Average at a very solid .333. Ball high, 1-1. Seven runs, 9 hits for the Angels. Tigers a run on just 2 hits tonight.
Nieuwenhuis, the new left fielder, is playing Anthony Ghosts awfully shallow. Ghost does have surprising power in his bat, and he can most definitely hit one over Nieuwenhuis's head if he connected. I mean, he is shallow.
Swing and a miss.
He cannot hit that breaking ball today, though. Wilson struck and goes out twice today on curveballs, and that's a good curveball there thrown by Salas that had Anthony swing through it.
swing, grounded back toward the mound. Salas has to hurry, and it's dug out at first base. Nifty play. Grant Green dug that out of the dirt.
Anytime Ghost puts the ball in play on the ground, if you're a defender, you have to be on top of your game. He threw a two-seamer over there to Green. It tailed into the baseline. That could have been ugly.
2 up, 2 down. Top of the order now. Here's Rajay Davis. Strike one in the outside corner. Davis on base twice tonight, walking a single. One is lifted back out of play. C.J. Wilson went the first 6 for the Angels. Gave up just the 1 run, but he sidestepped some trouble all night long.
He really did.
He walked 5 batters. He did come up with 7 strikeouts. He was on the brink, though, most of the night. Another foul back by Davis. One and 2. And another foul back out of play. Davis giving him a battle. Tigers won 2 out of 3 in Oakland. They're starting a 4-game series here against the Angels, and it's not gone so well so far. Checked it, strike 3 called. Rajay didn't like it, but he is punched out of there. It's a 1-2-3 inning. And coming up, the Dick Scott Automotive 7th inning stretch. All Angels tonight as we go to the bottom of the 7th here at the Big A in Anaheim. Well, we've talked about how the Tigers bullpen has been really good in the month of May, and you've got to go back in a lot of these different categories to see just how prolific this Tigers bullpen has been.
Wow, how about the earned run average? You have to go all the way back to July of 1984. They had an ERA this low in a month.
Something they've been really good. Unfortunately tonight the Angels got to Buck Farmer in this game and it built a 7-1 lead. Nesbitt goes back to work. Swing and a miss.
It just goes to show you how big the jump is from AAA to the major leagues. Buck Farmer was spectacular in Toledo this year, and there's some good hitters in AAA. He was 5-1 with a sub-3 ERA, had 51 strikeouts in the 9 games down there.
Featherston puts a charge into that one to straightaway center and caught by Ghost.
And then you come up here and you go up against a team that is really struggling. I mean, they have the poorest offense in the American League, at least by the numbers. Literally. And then they tack 7 runs on you.
And it was all started by that 2-run homer by Pujols in the first inning. The Angels have not looked back. Here's Mike Trout. 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of ground balls, actually 3 ground ball outs. 292 average for Trout.
7 runs scored for the Halos tonight. Trout, it really hasn't gotten busy.
No, and we mentioned that last year he was just 4 for 25 versus Tigers pitching. So now 4 for his last 28. Here's the 0-1. 1-1. Shift is on against Trout to the left side of the infield.
He's a dead pull hitter, and obviously that's the reason why they're playing him this way.
1-2.
He's a pretty good low ball hitter, but if you throw a breaking ball after throwing a mid-90s fastball and you have the same arm speed as the fastball, you can get a good hitter like Mike Trout to swing right through it. He is usually really aggressive and really hits breaking balls at the bottom of the zone hard.
Unanimous MVP last year in the American League, the third Angel to win that award. Don Baylor, Vladimir Guerrero, the other 2. Driven right field, hit well. JD on the run, not going to get it up against the wall. Trout motoring to second base, and he'll stop there with a double.
That is that low ball that I was talking about that Trout is so good at getting to. Tigers had a lot of success against him last year and the first 3 at-bats today on a lot of good breaking balls down. But here's a fastball, and it's at 96 miles an hour, and it's down. You really can't make a better pitch than that. That is 96 on the black at the knees or a touch below, and he hits a missile over the head of J.D. Martinez.
The 11th 2-bagger of the year for Mike Trout. Albert will be walked intentionally. Look out, he almost threw it away. McCann had to go skidding down to the dirt to get it. This will leave runners at first and second. Take their chances against Cole Calhoun. Three balls, no strikes. How many intentional walks do you think Pujols has this year?
Judging by the way that you asked that question, probably 1 or 2.
2. That was just his second. Here's Brad Ausmus coming out. And it looks like Nesbitt is done for the night. So the Tigers will go back to the bullpen. Tom Corsolani coming on with Calhoun due up. And we'll step aside. Pitching change here in Anaheim. Orioles have the lead. They have 2 men on as well as the Tigers go to the bullpen. We tell you to follow the Tigers all season long here in 2015. MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. There's Cole Calhoun to face the lefty Tom Gorsolani.
Gorsolani's done some nice work out of the Tigers bullpen. His first year in a Detroit Tigers uniform. He's been in 17 prior games. The ERA at 2.93, 13 strikeouts, only 4 base on balls for Gorsolani. Not a hard thrower. Fastball 89 to 90, and breaking ball and changeup.
Calhoun is single in 3 at-bats. Swing and a miss. Calhoun came in with some splits that were much better at home. 341 here at the Big A. Trying to tack on to their lead right now. 7-1 in the 7th. And he lays off that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Farmer started. Nesbitt came on in the 6th, and now Gorsolani here in the 7th.
Calhoun played his college baseball at Arizona State, and Arizona State has had 12 players appear in a game in the majors this year.
It's a lot.
Yep. Good school. Good baseball program for a number of years.
Junior played there for a while.
3 years there.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Rod Jr. played there with Andre Ethier, Dustin Pedroia.
Huh, that's a pretty good start right there.
He also played some summer ball with Ian Kinsler.
Really?
Yep, and all 4 of those guys I mentioned played on that, like a little team there. Not Pedroia, but Andre Ethier did it, as did Ian Kinsler.
Calhoun laid off. 3-1 now at Cole. Tigers tonight have been out hit 10-2 in this game, and the score indicates that. 7-1.
Tigers team hard to figure out. So many games this year where they've scored 2 or fewer runs, but yet they have a lot of guys that are having really good offensive seasons.
He did not go, says third base umpire Jerry Davis. That'll load the bases. Now David Freese.
Here's some proof of what I was just saying. 7 players with 40+ hits this season, most of the big leagues. 5 players with 20+ RBIs this season, most in the majors, but yet we've had a lot of games where the Tigers have scored 2 or fewer runs.
Freese is 1 for 3.
Gorsolani reached back to get a little extra there on that fastball thrown to Freese. 92.
$27 RBIs this year for Freese. He's hit 8 home runs. The 0-1 is a tad off the plate.
Told you earlier that he did not hit his 8th home run until September 12th last year.
Freese, of course, is remembered because he played for his hometown St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series in 2011. Had a huge postseason that year.
He was MVP, wasn't he?
He was. 397 in that postseason. Ground ball, base hit, left field. This might get 2 runs in. Trout scores. Now Pujols is going to stop, and they got 2 guys at third base. Albert started, then stopped. Kinsler will throw home. And now Albert is tagged out at third.
Well, that's a mistake by the third base coach, Gary DiSarcina. With the arm of Cespedes, in left field, and Albert Pujols running from second base. I mean, there's absolutely no way that you're going to score there. And Albert, even though he was told to go, he stopped and he went back to the bag. Look at DeSarcina here waving him home. Cespedes got the ball in his hand. Albert says, I'm not going to score.
Yeah, not only is it Pujols running, but it's the arm of Cespedes.
Right.
There was no chance there. Single RBI, and the play makes it 8-1. Here's Kirk Neuenhuis, his first at bat after taking over as a pinch runner in the 6th inning.
Yeah, they just acquired him a couple of days ago from the New York Mets for cash considerations.
Neuenhuis with the Mets this year, 079. A little bit outside. Neuenhuis was drafted in 2008, a 3rd-round pick of the Mets. Went to Azusa Pacific University, which is about, 30 miles from the Big A. Here's the 2-0. So the run here in the 7th inning charged to Nesbitt. Low and outside, and the count goes 3-1 on Neuenhuis. Eight runs, 11 hits for the home team. A run on 2 hits for the Tigers. The Tigers have stranded 6 in this game. Angels have left only 2. Three and 2 now on Neuenhuis. Three and 2. Ground and foul. So once again they'll start the runners with 2 outs. Chris Iannetta would be next if Neuenhuis were to reach. Tigers have trailed all night long. Got their only run back at the 3rd on a hit batter with bases loaded. That has been it.
Odd line tonight for their starter C.J. Wilson. 6 innings, only gave up 2 hits. He walked 5, but he struck out 7.
And he lost at ball 4. That's going to load the bases again.
That's the second left-hander that Gorzelani has walked in this inning. He only came in 17 games, walking a grand total of 4 batters.
Calhoun and Neuenhuis here in the 7th. The lefties he has walked. He's got to deal with the righty and Iannetta. Two-base hit for Iannetta back in the 2nd. He is 1 for 3. Ball 1. Well, no place to put him, and the count goes to 2-0. Just going to bring another visit to the mound, and Jeff Jones comes out.
It's the second workout of the day for Jones. He was in the workout room today, walking on the treadmill. He's made a couple trips out to that mound today.
He can skip tomorrow if he wants.
Yeah, he ain't got to work out in the morning.
Hey, next month the FIFA Women's World Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. women's national team against the best teams in the world in search of their third World Cup title. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning June 6th. Here's the 2-0 coming. Outside 3-0. Tigers played a 4-game series here last year and lost 3 out of 4 to the Angels. They just struggle in this yard. There's a strike, 3-1. Driven deep in the air to left. Cespedes back, looks up, and it's gone. A grand slam.
Only the third home run that Iannetta has hit this year. All the base on balls came back to haunt Gorzelani.
An Angels team that came in dead last in team average has helped out their numbers tonight. 12-1 Halos. First as an Angel, but the 4th career grand slam for Chris Iannetta. 12-1 Angels lead. Grant Green standing up. Donaldson straight back 1-1. Well, talk about making good use of your hits. 12 runs on 12 hits. Green a bunt single back in the 2nd. Ball high and away. 2-1. It's also going to crooked up those numbers as well for the Tigers bullpen. They've been so good in the month of May.
Total of 23 pitches thrown by Gorzelani. He has missed the strike zone with 15 now of the 24. So he is struggling today with his command. And we haven't seen him struggle this year with command.
Yeah, there you go. 15 against 9 strikes. Not at all. He's been really good. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3-2 on Grant Green. This is the 8th man at bat in the inning. Freeze with an RBI single and a grand slam for Iannetta. In the air to center. Ghosts backing up nearly to the warning track. That'll end the inning. Huge inning, though, for the Angels. They busted this one open. It's 12-1. Has blown this one open. As we go to the 8th inning, there are some changes. Got the new pitcher to deal with first for the Angels. That is the former Tiger, Jose Alvarez.
Alvarez got a couple different fastball, 2s and 4s. He likes to sink the fastball more than the 4-seamer. A heavy dose of changeups thrown by Alvarez. He also has a slider and a curveball. Curveball has been his most effective pitch, just a 136 batting average against the Alvarez curve.
So the Tigers will have Kinsler here in the 8th inning. The Iannetta grand slam has made it 12-1. Kinsler, Cabrera, Cespedes facing the lefty Alvarez. And looks like we'll get a pinch hitter here as Romine will stand in.
Miggy is not going to hit either. There is someone standing in the on deck circle other than him. I believe it's Hernan Perez.
It is indeed. So both managers now getting some of their bench players in. There's Hernan waiting on deck. Alvarez with the 0-1 pitch outside, and the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. 12 runs, 12 hits for the Angels. A run on 2 hits for Detroit. And a good year offensively for Romine, 361. Foul went back out of play.
He really has done a nice job for someone who really only gets a chance to play once a week, maybe twice a week on occasion. He has been able to put together some really quality at bats.
Not the easiest thing to do, but he's found a way to get it done. Here's the 1-2. Down he goes. Strikeout for Alvarez. Now Hernan Perez to bat for Miguel Cabrera. Six in a row retired by Angels pitching. Neuenhuis has moved to center field, and there's Alfredo Marte making his debut this year, just called up from the minor leagues. 0-1 the count on Perez. Tigers 2 hits tonight, a single by McCann, single by Rajai Davis. Ball outside. Did the Tigers just have only 1 extra base hit in Oakland?
2.
Well, they had 2?
Home run and a double.
Right, the home run. The entire series.
Right.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Perez. Cabrera had the only RBI for the Tigers before departing, hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Perez pops it up. Shallow center field. And caught by the shortstop, Featherston.
You know, I was just talking about Romine, how good he's been in the position that the role he's had to play this year. Hernan Perez is the opposite.
Yeah.
And he has not been able to adjust to not getting consistent at bats, consistent reps. His batting average is below 100, and you just can't find places for him to play. Not with Iglesias and Kinsler, and you're not going to put him in the outfield, so it's tough going for him right now.
Fred gave him a couple of opportunities in that series against the Athletics, but the at-bats have been few and far between. Cespedes looks at a strike.
Perez has no options, which means the Tigers cannot send him down to the minor league. Somebody would grab him. Somebody would take him. So therefore, they can't send him down to the minor leagues or freshen him up to get him any kind of consistent at-bats.
Big rip there by Yannis.
So he's gonna have to figure it out up here.
Yep. Tigers electing to bring 2 backup infielders out of spring camp.
Well, both Romine and Hernan Perez were out of options, and Brad Ausmus really likes Romine at the shortstop position.
Here's the 0-2.
Tough day for Cespedes today. He struck out twice against the starter C.J. Wilson, and on both times they were on fastballs, and he didn't pull the bat off his shoulder.
Alvarez staying away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Yoenis. Alvarez had some time with the Tigers in 2013, appeared in 14 games, 6 starts that year. High fly ball right field. It's playable for Calhoun. Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 8th.
That clearly wasn't Detroit's, but we can make you this promise. The Tigers Live post-game coverage is always entertaining. Johnny Kane and Craig Monroe in the Call Sam studios. Immediately after we're done here, you'll hear from Brad Ausmus. You'll hear from Buck Farmer as well. Tigers Live, stay with us. We'll talk about a rather one-sided affair, at least so far. Coming up, guys.
All right, John, thanks. Tread lightly, by the way, in the clubhouse tonight.
Yes, indeed.
One of those nights, 12-1 in favor of the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers have gone back to the bullpen. Al Albuquerque is the new pitcher.
Al's looked very good lately. Yeah, the slider has been a much better pitch for him the last 4 or 5 times he's gone out there versus earlier in the season. That earned run average had to come all the way down from about 7 a couple weeks ago.
Johnny Giavotella leads it on for the Halos. Giavotella, triple, run scored. Went around, it appeared. No, he didn't.
Albuquerque throws that slider 62% of the time, and the batting average against the slider this year is just 162, so it is clearly his go-to pitch.
Changes defensively. Collins in left. Romine stays in. Perez stays in. Albuquerque is the new pitcher. Down the left field line. These Angels are not done hitting tonight, it appears. Collins digs it up in the corner. Giavotella has himself a double.
That's the second extra base hit of the evening for Giavotella. He had a triple in that same spot earlier in the game. Get that fastball right off the end of the bat.
That is the 7th extra base hit tonight for the Angels. 7 of their 13 hits. 6 doubles this year for DET AT ANA.
And they are enjoying every moment of it because they haven't had many moments like these this year.
Taylor Featherston stands in. Don't believe I've ever heard the last name Featherston before.
I have never heard that name either.
Taylor is 0 for his last 15.
I know some Featherstones. I know a family of Featherstones.
Yeah, not Featherstons. He's missing the E. Now they get back out of play. Rule 5 pick. Made the Angels opening day roster. Oh, 2. Got him. Featherston is now 0 for his last 16, although he disagreed with that call. Albuquerque, his first strikeout. Alfredo Marte, who joined the team as well today.
A lot of new faces here for a team that won 98 games last year. You wouldn't expect this much turnover.
Well, the familiar names like Trout, Pujols, Saivar, they're still here. Freeze from last year, but yeah, a lot of different names. Marte was having himself a really good year down at AAA.
Giovanni, Green, Neuenhuis, Featherston.
Marte was hitting .343 down at AAA. 32 RBIs in 37 games. That's some pretty good production.
Well, the way their offense had been struggling, they had to find someone to help them out.
Back to the mound off of Albuquerque. They'll still get the out, though, as Romine throws him out. 2 gone, runner advances. 1-4-3 on the put out of Marte. Now Perez will bat. Carlos Perez. Is there anybody left on the benches? Looks like we've pretty much gone through everybody. Ball 1 at Perez. Well, the Tigers try and pick up the pieces, and tomorrow in game 2 they'll send Sanchez to the mound. 2-0 the count.
Sanchez had odd numbers the last time he pitched. Had 11 strikeouts, but ended up giving up about 7 runs.
Here's the 2-0.
And at times looked just downright unhittable against the Astros.
Hannibal gets in those stretches where he literally is unhittable. He'll run off 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row.
That's why his pitch count is always up to 100 by the 6th inning, because he gets so many swings and misses, and he has to throw so many pitches because the stuff is so good.
2-2. Mike Socha has liked what he's gotten out of Perez this year. But Iannetta is the one that hit the grand slam. Perez, the other catcher on this roster. Of course, Mike was a good one in his day. Two-two. Popped up. Who wants it? Castellanos does. Inning over, nothing comes of the leadoff double. And so we go to the 9th inning here in Anaheim. All Angels tonight. All right, Johnny, thanks. Last call here for the Tigers at the Big A as we go to the top of the 9th inning. 12-1 is our score.
How about Corey Kluber, man? He has turned his season around. He came into play tonight leading the American League in strikeouts with 83, and he punched out 13 more. Is that what Johnny Kane said?
That's what Johnny Kane said. It's got to be true.
96 strikeouts already for Corey Kluber.
Ground ball back up the middle into center field for J.D. Martinez to lead off the ninth.
It's been a while since J.D. has gotten a knock.
0 for his last 13, so that feels good for Martinez. Leadoff man on. Here's Castellanos.
You know, you were talking about Alvarez when he came into the game last half inning. He made 6 starts with the Tigers in 2013, and that's the year the Tigers only needed 6 starters all year. 6 starting pitchers the entire season.
Pretty amazing. I mean, you don't see that very often, where you go through an entire year and have so few injuries that you only need one other guy.
Well, think about it. They've already gone past that this season.
Yeah, no doubt.
Start yesterday by Alex Wilson. Today, Buck Farmer.
When the Tigers sent Alvarez to the Angels, they got Romine in return. Oh, and 2 on Castellanos. Moved him off the plate. 1 and 2 on Nick.
A lot of times Alvarez will simply knock you off the plate to set up the next pitch, which usually is his changeup, and it's a good changeup.
Down it goes. Yep. And that'll be the second strikeout for Alvarez. One gone. Here is James McCann. Single for 3 for McCann. Tigers all night long just have not been able to get it going. They've been limited just 3 hits, all singles. The J.D. Martinez hit here in the ninth, just the 3rd of the night for the Tigers. Yet Wilson made things more difficult for himself, all the walks that he had. The hit batter. Here's the 1-0.
Yeah, Tigers had him on the ropes a couple of different innings. Yeah, but they let him off the hook. They couldn't get the big hit against CJ. And he basically was pitching away from contact all night long.
Up with the right hand goes Adam Hammery. 2-1. That'll get back out of play. Into the seats it goes. 2-2.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game. Last half inning, the 4th career grand slam by Chris Iannetta, excuse me, his first as an Angel.
That lit up the scoreboard. It kept off a 5-run 7th. Here's the 2-2. McCann fouls it back. Angels tonight have used only 3 pitchers. They had Wilson, they had Salas for the 7th, and now Alvarez in the 8th and 9th. In the air toward center field, going to try a base hit. The Tigers have their 4th hit of the night. 2 on now with 1 out. Going to bring up Iglesias. 2-hit night for James McCann. slice to right field. That ball's going to get down into the gap and go to the wall. One run is in. McCann rounding third. They're going to stop him there, and Iglesias will pull into second.
That is the first extra base hit of the game off Tiger bats.
So Martinez scores.
Good swing here by Iglesias. Gets himself a fastball that was away from him. Didn't try to do a whole lot with it. Just split the gap in right center field.
First run for the Tigers since getting their other run in the third. And Iglesias now 7 RBIs. That'll bring up Ghost. Strike one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And then it goes down behind the plate to block it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tough night for Ghost. Struck out a couple of times against the lefty C.J. Wilson. Toward left field. And Marte going to run it down. Runners will hold, and there are 2 gone. So Alvarez now trying to get the final out. Rajay Davis will stand in. That will bring to an end, it appears, the 7-game hitting streak of Anthony Gose. Davis a single and a walk in this game. 1 for 3 in this contest. Angels trying to put the finishing touches on a win in game 1 in this series. Checked it. Did not go. Angels trying to get back up to the 500 mark. They came in at 23 and 24. Ball outside. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Lifted back out of play. Tigers at one point this year were 11-2, and since then, if they lose here tonight, they'll be 17-19 since. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Foul straight back. 2-2 now on Rajay Davis. So it was looking really rosy early for the Tigers with that 11-2 start. Look at Verlander going to town in the bubble gun. It's pretty impressive. Now the 2-2. Strike 3 call. Davis didn't like it, and that ball was high. I mean, it may not matter in the grand scheme of things, but that's a strikeout for Rajay Davis.
Adam Hammery was calling that pitch up all night long, and Rajay Davis is still in the batter's box and just shaking his head.
So the Angels win here tonight in convincing fashion. 12-2 your final score. We'll be back with more from the Big A.